All right, what's up, everybody? We're live.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to a special episode of Sweat the Bet podcast brought to you by OddsJam, oddsjam.com. If you aren't using it tonight for the Eastern Conference Finals game, you are losing out as a sports bettor on some value. Basically, look, guys, you know how I start off the show. If you are doing this for fun, you're doing it a little bit semi seriously or very seriously, then you understand the sports books have an edge on you from the very jump, right? So you got to get some of that edge back. You got to find where the value is so that you can stack the deck in your favor to try to stay profitable in the long run, okay? So you got to check out oddsjam.com. They basically equip you, me, us, the sports bettors with powerful tools, easy line shopping. You got bet trackers that are very easy to use, not a headache, okay? Auto grades all the wins and losses, and you get positive EV alerts. So you know where the lines are a bit off and you have the edge on those lines. So you got to check out oddsjam.com. At the very least, guys, just sign up for the email list. What is the harm in getting a few free bets per day just to test run it, just to take a look at it, start a trial? Check it out. Please check out oddsjam.com. So I am Andrew Kim, aka the Parlay Doc on Twitter, and I got my co-host back from the dead who missed our previous episode from being down and out for the count, but he was here with us in spirit. What is up, Matt Modi, the co-host? How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good. I was recovering from a bout with COVID. I have survived. Seems to be behind me now, but you probably hear it in my voice a little bit. So if I randomly start coughing, I apologize. But no, I'm excited. I can't pretend I watched a ton of basketball the past 7 days or so as I've been sick, but I did watch Game 6. I read up on Game 5 and Games 4 and 5, so I'm pretty in the know, and I am very excited for Game 7 tonight. At the beginning, we talked about how fun it would be if this series made it 7 games, and here we are. We made it 7 games.
Here we are, man. Yeah, I mean, God, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we said it on an episode a while back. I think it was after game one. I think I took and some of the other OddsJam content creators and other guys, we all kind of huddled, and all of us really a lot of us at least like the Celtics to win the series. I know some of the folks on the OddsJam creator side, I was one of them, took the Celtics right after the first game loss, saying, oh, this is easy. This is great value at plus 125 to win the series. And I locked it in. So essentially, I still don't hate it. Obviously, I wish they'd wrapped it up at home, but here we are. So I still don't think it's terrible because look, you have a 1 game scenario where you're getting them at plus money value. That's what it's coming down to basically at this point. So hopefully the Celtics bring it home for me, but man, it's gonna be a nail biter. I really hope. My only hope for tonight is I just don't want it to be a blowout.
We can't have what happened. Yeah, we can't have what happened the last 2 Game 7s. With the conference semifinals with the Suns Mavericks and the Bucks Celtics. I agree. It's got to be. We got to have a close Game 7.
Slim Dan says money line Celtics. Miami overplayed their talents with a few helpful calls. Okay, few helpful calls. So, no, I mean, yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, I know everyone's like, Celtics choked. It's over. I don't think it's over, man. I think this is going to be, up until maybe someone pulls away, like mid fourth quarter, late fourth quarter. Like, I think this is going to be a battle, man. I think you're going to see max minutes from both teams. Like you're going to see, I wouldn't be surprised. Tatum, Jaylen Brown, on their end, they have more luxury where they could spread out their offensive talent a little bit, but I still don't think you're going to see those guys rest more than 3-4 minutes tops. And on the Heat side, I don't know if you can afford to rest Butler more than like 2 minutes.
He played 46 minutes on,
Yep.
On whatever. Yeah, Game 6. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, he's going to have to play 48. I just don't know how much. Like, he looked healthy on Game 6. From all I read about Games 4 and 5, and he looked terrible, and he obviously missed the second half of Game 3. So who knows? I mean, the Heat, like, they just came back from the dead on Friday night.
Yep. So, all right. Well, let's just kick it off with this. So let's just kind of talk about the keys and the keys to victory, our thoughts. So we'll kind of kick it off here. I'll start off on the Celtics side. I mean, man, bottom line is they just they can't be stagnant. So the Celtics, in my opinion, they can't resort to hero ball, even though you got 2 legitimate scoring studs, right? I mean, you got, Tatum, obviously his ceiling is super high, but you know what? Despite his like super high ceiling, Jaylen Brown, I mean, he's been damn consistent. I mean, you have to say, he has been there, and he has been, yeah, maybe not like the best shooting percentage per se, but like in the clutch when you needed someone to pick up the team. And consistency wise, I mean, he's been always hovering. I mean, he had a breakout game, but he's always kind of been -1 flat game where he got 18 or something. But otherwise, he's been solid as a scorer. So, I just feel like the one thing you can't do is that you just watch the two of them jack up a three or play one-on-one ball, and you literally have no off the ball movement. I feel like they got to get Horford involved early. You got to have Marcus Smart. I think Marcus Smart tonight, the mistake would be he reverts. He takes too many series upon himself to think that he's going to take people one-on-one off the drive. And we've seen stretches where he thinks he's Tatum or he thinks he's Jaylen Brown. And I think for the Celtics, they have to remind Smart that you're better off doing the dirty work. You're better off, playing defense. You're better off facilitating, getting to the hoop, getting a few cheap free throws, knock down a couple open threes, but you're not Jason Tatum. You're not Jaylen Brown. So I feel like tonight's the night. Everybody know your role, but at the same time, don't watch hero ball. I don't want to see Jason Tatum doing fadeaway threes. I don't want to see Jaylen Brown shooting threes with three guys in his face. So the Celtics, the role players really got to step up tonight, and they can't be watching Tatum and Brown. I mean, I know that sounds so obvious and basic, but we've seen so much of that in stretches where that's where they lose their leads. I mean, we've seen it happen, and the Heat just go on those runs because they're fine saying, let's play iso ball and let's shut you down. Let's trap you at the top of the key, eat the shot clock to about 12 for you to then finally start your offensive sequence. And they'll take that all day. They'll be willing to let you dribble and play James Harden style at the top of the key every series if you want. So I think that's the thing, is the stagnant offense. We know that the Celtics can play D. We know that they're solid. They got size. They got athleticism. So it's really, for me, what are they going to do on the offensive end tonight? I think this is also going to be a sign of their maturity or immaturity, right? A mature team will continue to play team ball all 4 quarters, right? An immature team, when it starts getting a little dicey and they start feeling that pressure, they're going to revert to hero ball for like an entire stretch of a whole quarter. So I'm very fascinated to see mid-third quarter, fourth quarter, if it's a tight game or if the Celtics are down, will they revert to hero ball or will they show the maturity to still stay within themselves and play team ball? So we'll see if they're going to take that next step to now be a true title contender, or the undermanned Heat. They do dirty work and they overcome a more talented team, in my opinion. So those are my thoughts on the Celtics, at least.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm with you. It's kind of interesting. My biggest problem with the Celtics, like going into this series, was they don't really have a true point guard. Like Marcus Smart, has been like publicly trying to talk about how he's now the true point guard, and like the team took off and they made him point guard, but he's not a true point guard. Like that's really not what he does. And my biggest thing with Tatum and Brown is like, they're both talented scorers. Obviously, Tatum much more so, but they're not good as passers, as facilitators. So like I would, if they drive to the paint collapses on them. They're not like if they kick it out, it's not accurate, or they'll miss the read, something like that. I never really had faith in the offense as a whole being able to score. But to your point about like seeing how things go in the fourth quarter, I have the box score up. So the Celtics attempted 16 shots in the fourth quarter of Game 6. Derek White had 8 of them.
Yeah,
Granted, he
was playing well though. He was
on fire.
Well.
No, I'm not saying that was a problem. Like he was 3 of 5 from 3. He scored 11 points. But like I'm looking at it, Tatum put up 1 shot. Jaylen Brown put up 1 shot. Like I kind of feel like in the fourth quarter, I mean, it semi worked in Game 6 because Derek White went off. But like in Game 7, when like it's nut crunching time and everybody's buttholes clenched, like you need to have Tatum and Brown shoot more than 1 shot each. You know what I mean? Like,
when buttholes are clenched and nuts are being crunched, just like you said,
it's hard hitting analysis that you can only get here. But yeah, I mean, the Celtics scored 28 points in the fourth quarter. Like, if you had told me that going into it, I would have said they'd win. Like, I was shocked to see that they scored 28 points in the fourth quarter and still lost. To me,
Seamus, one of our comments, he's on board with your comments here. Celts need to avoid throwing away possessions. Tatum and Brown have had way too many turnovers thus far. So, hey, look, I'm hoping I'm not butchering your name. Is it Seamus? Maybe Seamus. Okay, so if
I
I'm
think Seamus is right.
Seamus, so take a look. I haven't had a chance to look at the odds, but I heard from my buddy. He was betting it a few minutes ago. He said on BetMGM, I think there is an over. If you like that angle, all I'm saying, I'm not saying bet it, but if you like the angle, go take a look. I think over 3.5 turnovers for Tatum. Was on BetMGM with decent odds. I think at one point, maybe they said. I think my buddy said minus 130 or minus 135.
Yeah, that got bet. It's minus 145. I have it up right now.
Okay, so people are hitting it. So because again, the angle tonight is he may play everything but like 2-3 minutes, right? So if you're going to go on the turnover angle, you want to do it in a game 7 in someone you've seen be a bit sloppy with the ball and probably playing the entire game. So just take a look, maybe shop around a little bit. I don't have it up on my screen, but take a look at that angle since I just wanted to point it out since he commented on that.
Yeah, I mean, how many times did Jimmy Butler intercept a pass? Like, there's so many easy buckets that he got from like sloppy play like that from the Celtics, which obviously didn't happen in games 4 and 5. And if the Heat, Jimmy Butler was incredible, Kyle Lowry was incredible, but like I didn't watch game 6 and think like, oh, the Heat are back. It was like they're making tough shots and they're like scoring off of turnovers. But none of that to me is super sustainable. Like Jimmy Butler going 4 of 8 from 3. You can't count on that every night. You know what I mean? Like Kyle Lowry coming back from the dead after like he didn't score a point in games 4 and 5. Like I don't know. Maybe they just like the Heat are gamers. Maybe they just got it. Maybe they just got it out. But to me, I don't know. To me, that felt unsustainable. That's kind of where I lean.
Yeah, so you know what? Let's do this. Game is coming up, so let's go through some of the bets and give the people what they want. Let's talk about some of the bets we fired off. So I'll kick it off with a couple. So this one to me, low hanging fruit, man. Game 7. So I just maxed out the boost on DraftKings. Okay, DraftKings boost. Tatum 25 points.
Oh yeah.
Butler 25 points. Okay, what was that at? Plus, let me take a look real fast. While he's up there talking.
I took that on DraftKings as well. FanDuel had something similar. So FanDuel had they combined for 60. DraftKings they each scored 25.
Yeah, here we go. DraftKings, it's boosted to plus 150. Come on, guys. Plus 150, game 7, max minutes. So look, the Butler side, I mean, minus him having his knee flare up, he's going to get 25. Okay, that's my opinion. Tatum, obviously, the bigger risk is there's more way the offense is going to be divided up, right? Is Brown going to go off? Is Horford going to have a decent night, etc.? But if Tatum wants to take that leap, tonight's the night, right? You are the future of the Celtics franchise, so get us 25 points in a game 7. Even if you go 9 for 35 shooting, get to the free throw line, then do something. So I'm taking the DraftKings boost. $50 maxed out, plus 150 odds. Tatum and Butler get 25 each. I think you just have to take that one, guys. So,
what about the FanDuel one? Combined for 60?
Oh, FanDuel. I was torn on that. Are you taking that one?
I took both.
Took both.
Honestly,
yeah, I'm gonna do it. Fine. You peer pressure. I'm gonna do it right now. You keep talking. while I lock it in. I'm gonna lock it in before we get too close to game time. Go ahead. So we're both taking it.
Yeah. So I honestly have. Me and a buddy talk about this all the time. Whenever we see a bunch of sports books promoting something, like in this case, promoting Jason Tatum and Jimmy Butler to go over, like to score a bunch of points, we always take the under because we think if the sports books are boosting it, they think that the opposite is going to happen. You know that joke that FanDuel like calls the NBA, like, okay, what's happening tonight? Like, oh, okay, Jimmy Butler scoring 20. Okay, we'll boost him to score 25. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The funny part is there's a few cappers on like social media. They really think that actually happens, which is I find very hilarious. And it's not even a joke. They actually think that actually happens. But yeah.
And I took a lot of flack for this. I did a player prop video today, and I took Jimmy Butler over, and everybody under Jimmy Butler under 27.5 points. Everybody was just roasting me for it, saying like it's game 7, like he's going to shoot a ton of time. He's going to shoot a ton, but I mean this game has a game total of like 196.5. I don't know what it is now. I haven't checked in like since we've been on, but like last time I looked at it earlier today, it was 196.5. And like Jimmy Butler's getting like basically 28 plus points against like the best defense in the NBA. I don't know. Like he was invisible for 3 games. He balled out in game 6. He played 46 minutes. He like only got 1 day of rest. I don't know. To me that feels it was too rich for my blood. So I took the under on Jimmy Butler to go under 27.5.
So you're going to take him under, even though you're taking the boost for
because I like the boosted odds. You know, I figured
So you're
almost
gonna
like
hope Tatum's gonna put you're hoping Tatum's gonna give you like 36, 38, something like that.
yeah, and I'll almost hedge my bets a little
Yep.
bit. Like if
Sure,
both
gotcha.
if one hits and one doesn't, then I'll still profit the way the way the money shook out. So it's almost a way to hedge.
Gotcha. All right. So here's my next one. And I'm not okay. This one, I'm not as like gung ho about the the DraftKings boost, but Kyle Lowry, double check, triple check. The last time 20 minutes ago before I hopped onto this live stream, I saw that he was available, that he wasn't going to be limited
Oh, yeah, he's
or,
in. He's in.
so he's in. So I took him last game. It wasn't my idea. I was in a group chat, the Bag Squad group chat. Shout out to the Bag Squad. They told me hammer and take Lowry, and it worked out very well. Like, obviously, he played heavy minutes. How's he going to be? But I don't know, man. So just remember, hamstring in play. Warned you ahead of time. So keep that in mind. Me tonight, I'm usually relatively disciplined, but tonight I'm just being reckless because it's a game 7. There's not much NBA left. So I'm just firing up.
I like it.
It's low hanging fruit, man. 10.5 points right now. It's on FanDuel right now. 10.5 points around minus 110 the last time I looked. So
Let's see.
I'm going to take it, man. I mean, I'm hoping, knocks down, I don't know, geez, man, just knock down 1 or 2 threes and then just fart your way into some free throws. Like you're going to play, if he's going to play almost the entire game and rest 5 minutes, 10, like, I don't know, 8 minutes max since he's a starter. I mean, like I said, knock down 2 threes for us. Bump yourself and flop your way into like 6 free throws. He will flop. So I'm banking on the flop. So look, I don't think it's going to be a lock. It's going to be a sweat, but it's so low in a game 7 where you need him, and he showed you last game he's still healthy enough to do it. I'm gonna take Lowry over 10.5 points.
Lowry, I don't hate it. I mean, I don't know. I like, honestly,
that's what I'm saying, man. I knew that's the reaction. I know what I mean. It's like it's so easy, but it's like
I feel like reading about something versus watching it, you don't like I just heard about how grotesque Lowry looked in games 4 and 5, how he didn't look like he could move. And then I watched game 6 and I'm like, what the heck? Like, were people lying to me? The games 4 and 5 actually happened? I didn't think that it was real.
Yeah, no, I mean, who knows? I mean, like conditioning, right? I mean, I think tail end of this game, conditioning may come in, but I figure, man, game 7, get the 10.5 for us, get the 11 for us in the first 3 quarters, man. So, I mean, look, I can't pass that up. That's all I'm saying. I'll live with it if it's an L. I just can't pass it up with that low of a line when you're a starter and you proved you could do it in game 6, well beyond the line. I got to take it. So I'm taking Lowry over 10.5. Full unit on that one. So $100 for me. So
it was it's 118 on FanDuel as of right now. Minus 114. Minus 114.
Yeah, it was minus 110. It's getting pushed up pretty quick. People are taking the low hanging fruit. So
I'm taking Bam to go under 14.5 points.
Ooh,
I think Bam is a certified loser. He gets put in
certified loser.
Watch Bam play offense. He doesn't do anything. He just dribbles around. He back and then he takes a contested. I don't know, mid-range 8-footer or something. He's a good rim runner. He's good on defense. He's got no discernible skill on offense. None. He's a fine free throw shooter. Fine, but he's gone over this total 3 of his last 10 games. He's gone under 10 points more times than he's gone over 14.5 in this series. He's gone under 10 points 3 times. In the other game, he had exactly 10. I'm putting Bam squarely on my fraud list. I think Bam's severely overrated.
Oh, overrated. That's harsh. That's harsh, man.
Bam had a good 2020 bubble run in the playoffs, and he's done nothing since.
Oh, I think to me personally, overrated. Sure. Okay. Overrated. I think anything when people go into bum or
no, I mean, I'm being obviously tongue in cheek. I don't think he's obviously incredibly good, but I don't think he's nearly as good as people want to put him in the tier as Jokic and Embiid. And I think he's much lower than that. I mean, he's getting legitimately punked by Grant, the Williams twins.
No. I would never put him in that stratosphere of Jokic or Embiid. No, I agree with, but I don't know, man. No, look. I'm torn on that one. I'm still debating what I'm going to do in the next 8 minutes, but
I mean, to be fair,
I can see it.
Projections don't it was a plus EV on OddsJam, so that's why I found it. If you look at projections and stuff, Like if you like look at fantasy stuff, have
Who's the
him
ref?
going over.
Who's the referee tonight? Who's the ref, guys? Do any
It's
of our viewers know who's reffing
I
tonight?
no, I do know. It's Foster. It's Scott Foster.
Foster.
But I was trying to think of what the angle of that is because
Yeah,
it's like game 7, so it's not like he's extending a series.
yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, those are
Hectic,
my two player props. Jimmy
Hectic
Butler.
Cuts. Let's see here. Hectic Cuts. A user says Jimmy Jimmy Butler to dunk as the method of first score plus 10,000. God, that's crazy. Got $1 on it. What is that? Hectic Cuts. Is that on FanDuel? The first method to score bets? Is that on
I've
FanDuel?
never done a method to score.
I mean, those are so crazy. I usually just ignore it, but since it's one of our users, I might have to.
Method of Jimmy Butler dunk. Yeah, it's on FanDuel.
So what do you? So Hectic Cuts. What do you think? You thinking there's just going to be a total defensive breakdown on the play, and he's just gonna roam free, or there's going to be a turnover? Are you banking on a Tatum
Yeah, it's got to maybe
turnover? It's got to be like a.
I'm going. You know what? I'll do Jimmy Butler free throw.
Jimmy Butler free throw. Okay.
Plus,
I like that. I like that. I'll in honor of Hectic Cuts, I'm gonna throw a buck. I'm gonna throw a buck on Jimmy Butler dunk. That's crazy odds. Plus,
to win 100.
Yeah, whatever. I just burned $1. So
yeah,
Jimmy Butler free. I like Jimmy Butler free throw though. I like Jimmy Butler free throw. If he's in attack mode, game 7, we gotta win. He drives and then
Foster's gonna call some fouls.
Plus 3,200 for a Jimmy Butler. I mean, that's obviously, yeah, I probably should be higher than that, honestly, but I'll do it. All right. Oh God, I hate you.
We've wasted money on
dumber things. I've wasted money on dumber things. So why
I gotta ask. So I've been all over the under in this series, and the series has gone over 4 of 6 times. Even despite that, the total, I get someone in the comments said it's all the way down to 197.5. Where are you at on the total of this game? I get the sense you don't like betting totals a ton. I haven't seen that.
I only like overs. I'm such a square when it comes to that. I mean, I do positive EV, and I don't try to put my emotions in it when I do some positive EV stuff. But I am a sucker when it comes to just rooting for offense. It's just some weird thing with me with bad juju.
I mean, that's fair.
I love the art of the game, the beauty of the game when the buckets are falling. And I know you could appreciate the beauty of defense, and that's half the game. So I get it. But for me, it's like I don't want to see lackadaisical, like the scores like 175 to 150. No, that's not good basketball. But like, I want to see a mixture of good defensive sets and some buckets going in and some, Splash Brothers knocking down like 6 threes apiece. It's fun. And I like the high octane offense era of the NBA. So for me, I just stay away. I would lean towards the over, just because if it's going to be as tight of a battle as I'm envisioning, I could imagine the free throw game basically coming in, throwing out these models. Basically, if that's the key. It's like if it's a blowout, yeah, then it's going to go under, and you're going to see them pack it in like the Mavericks did right at the end. Like you're just like, well, our season's done. Let's go away. Let's avoid injury, not hurt our superstars, right? So if it's a close game, though, I can see 3 minutes of NBA time being 45 minutes, and it's just going to be tons of free throws, and you may creep over that mark. So if anything, I'm not betting it, just to be clear, but I would take the over in my opinion, just because of the narrative piece that if it's going to be a tight game, I could see the free throw game coming in at the end.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I did a deep dive on this last year when I wrote an article about game 7 unders, the average score, and this was as of last year, so it's not updated with this year's numbers. The average score in game 7 was 93 to 91.
Jeez.
Now, granted, that included some like just grotesque early 2000s basketball, but game 7's just historically trend under. I was just shocked to see the total end so low at like in the 190s. That's just, I mean...
No, sorry, I'm just laughing.
I know, I see that.
I don't hate it. I'm laughing, but I literally don't hate it, because if anyone on the Heat's going to get the first bucket, it's like
going to be Jimmy.
It's like you're betting Jimmy versus the entire Celtics starting roster, basically. So I don't hate what you're saying, man. I actually don't. I'm laughing because it actually, in my mind, I'm a degenerate. My degenerate mind, it makes sense. So I trust me. I'm with you, Hectic Cuts. I actually follow your logic. So. All right. So a couple minutes till tip off. Here's my last couple. And these, I want to be clear. I'm like literally sprinkling like 10, $15 on these, like $20 max. Like I'm just taking, even though it's very, very, very unlikely, the season's coming to an end, guys. So this is where I'm throwing a couple darts. I am going to play both Tatum and Jimmy Butler each, just to sprinkle like 1/10 to 1/12 of a unit on their triple doubles, basically. So,
Okay.
let me see what they were at. Let me check real fast.
I thought you were going to sprinkle something on like score 40 plus.
No. Well,
I think parlay that.
I think, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to.
I guess you have the odds boost kind of protecting you there if they both go off.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was debating doing 35-35 as a parlay between Butler and Tatum, but I'm just gonna sprinkle less and then just hope for that's actually not bad. I might do that. I might take 35-35 also just to be a total degenerate. But they're triple doubles. Yeah, let me see. Where the hell is that? I'm scrolling.
Do you parlay them?
No, I don't even. Well, I guess you could manually build it, I guess. That would be ridiculous, I'm sure. Tatum was at plus 3,100. Probably should be higher, honestly, just if you actually do it from an odds standpoint. But
yeah, he just doesn't pass enough.
It's the assists that are the problem. I mean, he's probably going to smash. He's going to smash a double. I mean, to me, 50 minutes. I think he's going to get close to 10 rebounds. I think he'll get 11 or 12, honestly.
Plus 190 to record a double.
Oh, God damn it. Maybe I'll do that too. And then Jimmy Butler is at plus 2,300, which I think he should be more around plus 3,000 as well. I think, when you look at those, that's the thing, guys. If you actually sit there and calculate, he should be more like plus 4,000. Like
if you do it individually,
yeah, these are not great odds. So just keep that in mind. It's just laziness. I don't want to go sit there and worry about all the odds and build. It's just, I know when I'm being a degenerate, and this is one of those times. So
as long as you're aware.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, game's about to tip off soon. Anything else, Matt, that you got?
Yeah, no, I mean, the biggest bets I took, I gave my player props. For actual game predictions, I took the Celtics money line. I put my biggest bet on that. So as long as the Celtics win, no matter what else happens, I'll be profitable. And then I did take the under just because game 7 under is is just a system play that I do every single time.
Yep.
But I will admit 196.5 is a little scary.
Yeah, it is, but you never know, man. I mean, both teams can lock down on defense and be stagnant on offense, either or combination of the above. So, to summarize for me, like I said, I'm taking the DraftKings boost for Tatum and Butler to get 25 apiece. I am going to ride with Matt, who's also taking the FanDuel boost. Let me see here. I am going to take a Lowry over 10.5 as the other kind of straight bet. I'm already invested in the Celtics, so I essentially almost have a Celtics money line bet because I needed them to win the series at plus 125. So I'm on the Celtics basically with Matt. I need the Celtics to come through. And then you heard about my degenerate darts that I'm throwing out there with, like I said, the triple doubles, etc., all the other long shots. Hopefully one of them gets it. But yeah, guys, so thanks for tuning in to this impromptu episode. Let's see if we can get a couple of these straight props, a couple of these money lines with the Celtics winning. I guess the crew here on the OddsJam side, I know, I think a couple other guys on OddsJam were on the Celtics too. So it almost seems like most of the OddsJam folks are rooting Celtics tonight. So we're going to be bleeding green, I guess.
Yeah.
But thanks for tuning in, guys. And thanks for your ideas. Thanks to, Hectic Cuts for all those Jimmy first method bets. I sprinkled a few bucks with you, brother. So if Jimmy hits on the dunk, or just because you gave us the idea and he hits on the free throw, make sure are you on Twitter? Follow me on Twitter at ParlayDoc or at OddsJam. And if Jimmy hits, let us know that you were the guy who told us to do that. And if Jimmy hits, put it this way, Hectic Cuts, because you handed out the idea. If Jimmy hits on his dunk or if Jimmy hits on his free throw, either one of those, even though you told me dunk or free throw for Jimmy, if that hits tonight, you hit me up on Twitter at ParlayDoc. I'm going to send you a package of a bunch of rookie cards, okay? As a thank you for telling us the Jimmy angle, okay? So root for that Jimmy first method. And if he hits either one, free throw or dunk, you hit me up on Twitter at ParlayDoc. I'll send you a package of some rookie cards for you, okay? All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Sweat the Bet. Join us again this upcoming Thursday for our next episode at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. I am Andrew Kim, a.k.a. ParlayDoc. This is Matt Modi. Follow us at OddsJam on Twitter, guys. Peace out. Go Celtics.
All right. Thanks, guys.